Welcome back to Exploring Whiskeys. I'm Eric.
I'm Kevin, and today we're going to head right back into one of our favorite distilleries, the Glenmorangie. This is a special release that just came out in 2020. This is the Cadboll Estate release. This is a 15-year chill filtered, which is totally not a normal thing for Glenmorangie at all. And the whole idea is it is an estate Scotch. So everything. Go ahead.
Everything's grown on the estate. The director of distilling, Dr. Bill, is it
Lumsden.
Lumsden?
Yeah.
This is his kind of, I would call it like his masterpiece. It was,
Exactly.
It was his idea. I mean, everything that goes into this, from what we've found, is on the estate.
On the estate. He picked which barley, where it was planted, how long, how it was dried, how it was malted. He did the whole thing. And then they just, released it. So 15 years. So they barreled this in 2004. They bottled it late 2019. Came out March 2020. And apparently, I agree. I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but I agree. It's pretty good. It was number 13 on the top 20 for 2020 from Whiskey Advocate.
Not too shabby when it just drops.
Yeah, not too shabby to be thrown in there. And that's of all whiskeys, not just Scotches, not just all whiskeys. Number 13. And yeah, like I said, I agree because we've had a couple of pours. It's really nice. It's different than like the original Glenmorangie, and like there's some differences there, but it's still a very good pour. Ooh, that was a heavy pour too. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, the go-to, the original Glenmorangie, it's that almost not quite a citrus bomb, but it's a very overpowering flavor in that one. This one, I don't get any citrus.
Nope, I don't get citrus in there. The
creamy kind of.
Yes, there's a very creamy note to it. Totally agree with that one.
This is good. Thanks for the heavy pour.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what was going on there, but But it's a light, sweet malt nose. No smoke comes off the nose. Even though one of them I know, what was it? Not La Santa. What's the green one? Drawing a blank. But that one did have a bit of a smoke note. Yeah, exactly. That does have a bit of a smoke note on the palate. I've never gotten a smoke note off the nose on any of the Glenmorangies. Yeah, it's just light malt, maybe a little honey, biscuity.
Yeah,
very bready scones, and then you get into the palate, and it's honey. Again, it kind of goes back to scones with honey drizzled on. Yes, it's a very. I'm going to say that's kind of the note that I'm getting out of that. Is very nice, creamy,
very creamy,
buttery. It's good. It's really good. I don't have a lot of bad things to say about it, or even.
This would be another one. It'd be really nice to have a couple bottles and do a flight.
Yeah.
All in a row, kind of as they step up in age.
Yes.
Be good.
The Ruby one, I'm so drawn a blank on. It's the green 14-year. It'll be typed right here at some point. Anyway, that one was a little bit of it was 14 years, but it had a little bit of a little harsher, like a smoke note. I know when we poured that, it's something that somebody pointed out, like, oh yeah, that tastes like Scotch, versus the La Santa, which is really light and sweet. The original, which is really, like you said, citrusy. This is very shortbready. I'm still going back to scones. Like, it's very scones and honey with a little butter, cream.
Adam would like this one.
He probably would. Makes me think, well, not that it was Scotland, but I remember having scones at a castle in Ireland. And that was like, it had the tea, had the scones drizzled in honey with a thing of really like the really buttercream butter. It was so good. And that's kind of what I'm thinking of.
Buttery dough.
Yep.
Ones that have the bigger green sugar on it. For the sweetness.
Well, Dr. Bill, good job. You've definitely done a damn good job, and letting it sit there for 15 years. What a great experiment. Like, all right, I'm not only going to trust you to do all this, but we're also just going to throw it in a barrel and not even like, we're not going to bottle that for 15 years and then release it out.
I'd like to have been in the room for that sales pitch.
Or do they, I wonder if that's a normal thing. Just getting really into scotches. We've done a lot of the baseline scotches. I've bought a lot of the baseline scotches. But these special limited edition, which it says on the box, you know, I've not done a lot of them, but boy, when I have, winner, I really enjoyed them. So is that more of a normal thing with scotches? Maybe they just do that. Well, they're, you know, hey, we're going to throw it in there.
Let it sit.
Did they pick 15 years or did they, you know, taste it, now it's time?
I would probably lean towards they probably tasted it.
That's my guess.
If it's going to be a limited release, you probably want to taste it.
Make sure, all right, it's hit its peak.
Yep.
We can hit that. We can release this now.
Maybe he had a flavor profile in his mind, and once it
hit that, and it was like, good.
All right, let's bottle it.
The other thing, which I know Glenmorangie plays around with a little bit, this is first fill. So it's ex-bourbon, but it's the first time it's been used since coming from a new bourbon barrel. So that's kind of a, versus they reuse and reuse. They're just using that. We did that with somebody else.
It's got a good color to it.
It does. I don't believe it's color. I think
if it's probably the first one. After you're probably gonna pick up a lot of that color.
Little, and there might be a little bit of a bourbon note still in the wood.
Yeah, I do get a little more now that it's kind of. I've had a few that oaky.
Yeah, 15 years sitting in a barrel is going to add to that, but it's not. It's there, but it's not the primary note.
It's faint. I mean, way in the back.
Now, it's not the cheapest bottle of Glenmorangie. Limited edition. It is 15 years. Is $85-ish.
86 proof too.
86 proof. So it's
a little
on the higher end for scotches, I guess. You know, sometimes you will see a 92, but for the most parts you're seeing 80s. So
I'm anxious to go over there and see when you go over there if they have more of trending towards 100.
Higher proof stuff over there.
It's just over there. It's just not available over here. I know there is a Jameson. I've had it. That's cask strength, which is not available here. Thanks to a neighbor that was able to give me a pour of that, which is really good.
True.
Cask strength. You don't feel the alcohol in that. But I'm really curious on some of these. If we were to go over there and if they were sitting around that 100, if it's available and how much different would it be?
I assume they're bottling there. It's import. Yeah, so it's probably, if it's bottled, there'd be no reason to proof it down to send it here. It'd be better to send it here at a higher proof and then proof it down and bottle it here. But I don't know if there's some rules or laws against that. I have no idea.
Because we made comments before, like this is great, but I think it'd be better at a higher proof. And here in the States, I mean, we typically drink bourbons that are mid 90s to 120, 130. I mean, there's definitely a market here for higher proof.
And you'd pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But here's the kicker. All right, for this particular bottle, the flavor profile, so kind of light and delicate. More proof might not be a good thing.
Not for this one, but I think there
are definitely ones. Totally agree. There are definitely ones that I think proof would help it. But this is kind of a lighter and a very soft kind of palate and nose. Proof might overpower that a little bit. So I do wonder, again, maybe Dr. Bill knows what he just, 86 was it.
But I kind of feel like the Glenmorangie, I mean, that's kind of their, that's their profile. I mean, they're going for those much lighter, delicate scotches.
But they do it well.
Yeah. I haven't had a bad one yet.
They do it very well. I want to say we have one more special Glenmorangie to do. Nope, two. Sorry. Just got one this weekend. Forgot about that. So there is the cake, which surprised me that didn't show up on the top 20 list. I'm very interested. But that came out late in 2020.
And
so that may show up next year's, but I got a bottle of that. So we're gonna be sampling that one. And I just picked up the Dior something. I can't remember what the exact name was, but that one is Glenmorangie. It's not aged I don't think there's an age statement on it. Finished in white wine casks. That could be interesting.
I think your description was fruity pastry.
That was my description. Was a fruity, creamy pastry combination thing, and it's really nice. So, Glenmorangie, that is definitely on our trip. I want to hit that distillery.
Absolutely.
Because there's not one pour, to your point, that I've thought, oh, I don't like that.
We have to lay this trip out because there's over 100.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure that out. At least this is Highland. So, Speyside, Highland, Islay. Crap. How big is Scotland? I don't know. Like, is that from north-south, is that like a 2-day drive, or is that like one long day? Is that like, Tennessee wide, basically?
I'm going to go, it's probably a long 1-day drive.
Yeah, okay. All right, we can figure this out.
Well, if we're going for at least a week, so.
Yeah, this is a 10-dayer. This is definitely a 10-dayer.
So, Dr. Bill, you hit a home run with this one.
Yes, you did. Very good job. Yeah, definitely. Cheers to you.
I hope there's some more experiments like this coming out.
Again, not that I've looked for it. I think Glenmorangie does something special at least once or twice a year.
Yeah.
So that will be added to the grab
They
list.
should. With just the name alone,
Yeah.
people are, like you and I would both, if we saw it, we'd buy it.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't know which number of Scotch this in our series, but it's been quite a few, but it's always nice to come back to the Glenmorangie Distillery. Yeah. We hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, we encourage you to hit that like button at the bottom of the screen.
While you're down there, if you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, get notified every time we put out a new episode, and let us know what's your favorite Scotch. What's one that we should go explore, or a lineup of Glenmorangie's lineup has just been solid.
Yep.
So really want to start exploring another distillery like that.
Yep.
Going through their whole lineup. Outside of the Islas, we're playing around in there too. So.
Well, we appreciate you joining and look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
Thanks for watching.
Cheers.